Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's bi-weekly town hall meeting, October 3rd, 2023. Today's agenda: projects and development updates, marketing updates, and collaborations. Robinson, start us off with project and development updates, please.
Thank you. So let's start with our engineering updates. So I've made a little detailed updates this time because we've been making some good progress and we wanted to showcase that. As a recap, we're using the Dora metrics, which essentially tracks the activity in the repositories and looks into the speed, quality, and performance, not individual, developer uh, productivity, and finally the number of deployments. So the first one, the time for releases. So this has been steadily uh, decreasing, and right now it is standing at 15.21. Uh, at the same time, it's interesting to note that the review time uh, it's taking a lot of time, because if you look into these two diagrams I've shown, this pink one, that's the review time. So essentially what's happening as per this metric is that we are spending around 2.5 days on development, 2.1 plus 0.24, but then 11.13 days on review. So I think that's an area we need to improve. So in general, this metric looks very impressive, and if we can tweak the review time, that'll be really great. I think this is coming primarily from the uh, Toto development, and if you can, uh, if you're smart enough to close all the stale MRs and also make sure that close and restart the MRs or create new ones, we can have some magnificent stats here for our speed metric. Now, moving on to the next slide, deployments. So we are doing a phenomenal task here with a phenomenal job here with our with the ability to deploy multiple times to production right now. I think this is something we've been working towards for a very long time, and finally we are able to do that. So from the graphs, we can see that we're doing more than two releases per week. Primarily, this is from Toto, and last week's next deployment also has contributed to it. But especially from Toto, we can see that there were cases where we have done multiple releases. So the deployment looks pretty amazing. Moving on to the throughput. On the throughput again, it remains at 11.81. Seems to be kind of okay from the, or it's above the industry standards. Next one, the quality metric. This is very peculiar because the number of hot fixes is quite high. And so the Dora metrics is considering this as production failures and adding all this tags like recovery time, etc. But I think this, in our case, this is slightly different because most of these, this is coming from the hot fixes for various small UI issues or usability issues against Toto. So even though this CFR is, looks the error rate looks quite high. On the other hand, it is a good indication that the development is very active, and the developers are doing developers and DevOps are doing a very good job, especially with Toto development. So yeah, so in general, the metrics looks very interesting. I think we have to work on the review time so that we have a much more better metric. So moving on to the next slide, I have added a new area for tracking the security related stats. So this is primarily from the Toto project. I thought of bringing it up because since we are in a very uh, fast development for Toto, we seem to be missing out some of these security reports. So from the graphs, it's clear that over a period of time, we have introduced some vulnerabilities. These are essentially from various uh, dependencies, Node.js dependencies. New CVs or vulnerabilities are published against some of our uh, packages, but we are yet to address them. So currently we have around six high, uh, not high, critical vulnerabilities reported against the current code base. So I think the release that we made just now, it has addressed many of this. But I just wanted to make sure that uh, in the upcoming weeks, this is becoming zero. These particular stats is becoming zero, and we don't have any security issues, known security issues against our production software. So again, there's a shout out to the development team. So we're doing a phenomenal job at the development, but we have to keep an eye on these metrics as well. Okay, moving on to the product updates. The first one is the Peerplays 1 update, where we have completed the end-to-end verification of various features under development. So this was done against 1.5.25 beta. The last item which was pending was verification of Ethereum Sun functionality against Peerplays public testnet that has been completed. So we have a small hiccup with the Bitcoin version. The latest version was requiring, it was needing a newer boost version, which we have not verified yet. So we were tweaking the build process in such a way that we can use the thoroughly tested versions of the software. This is like pretty much completed, and around 15th of the month, we'll have the release available with a hard fork with all the features that we've been working on. That's Peerplays 1. Moving on to Peerplays 2. First and foremost, our private chain deployment is working quite well. We had some of the maintenance tasks like rotating the keys and improving the overall security, which is completed. One last item that's pending is automating the backups. Yeah, I think I missed out on the import export functionality. So Substrate SDK provides an import and export functionality for the blockchains, but we have found some core bugs with the Substrate SDK and raised bugs in the Polkadot GitHub. What's happening is the import and export functionality, which is available, is not fully functional. There are various challenges with it. This means we cannot do an import and export of a live blockchain. So what we're doing is for the private chain, we are thinking of a workaround and to maintain the backups. So the workaround itself is known, but we have to automate it. It's a little peculiar because we have to stop, start, restart, etc. To make sure that the size is under control. Because of some of the RocksDB parameters, the size is quite high, so we have to do this these peculiar step of restarting, stopping, and then doing the backup. So that process is being verified and private uh, deployment. So that's one item which is pending. But otherwise, the private deployment is looking very stable. And even though this automation is pending, we do have manual backups available. Yeah, another work that's going on is we are trying to verify account abstraction, which is from Ethereum Improvement Proposal 4337. This will essentially enable people to create blockchain accounts as if it's a, typical SaaS or Google, Twitter type sign up. So this functionality, this has been getting a lot of attention of late, and we hope this will help us to attain uh, attention. And for some of our dApps, we are planning to integrate it as soon as possible. So we are verifying this against the current Peerplays pre-release version. So for this to work, we need an external software called Bundler, which will essentially combine lots of few of the it will combine many of the blockchain transactions and release only or published only selected ones or combined ones into the blockchain itself. Most prominent ones are from StackUp. So we this external software and there are other variants as well for the bundler. So we're trying to evaluate various options that's available to us. So and in addition to this bundler software, we also need to make sure that some of these associated smart contracts are working. So this is that's one item which is in progress. And on the core R&D, where we're trying to uh, uh, introduce proof of pulse. We have a sample implementation wherein we are able to identify newly introduced blocks to the network. But we are yet to add further criteria on how to address these new nodes, how to avoid various attack scenarios, etc. So that work is progressing pretty well. I think in general, I mean, I probably mentioned this earlier. We have been uh, getting noticed by the Polkadot developers as well, because many of our PRs for identifying the chain in Polkadot.js, etc. It's been approved, and we are also able to contribute to the substrate as a whole over the last few weeks. That's Peerplays 2. Moving on to uh, Toto. So for Toto, we just made another release. So the releases, as I indicated earlier, we are able to do multiple releases, and the development is happening in a pretty fast paced manner. Uh, Yeah, so the previous releases, we are trying to address numerous usability issues, UI issues, and generally improvements. In general, we don't have major bugs as such, but it's mostly UX and various tweaks in the usability. I think one of the major items that's been worked right now is the way we are handling or collecting and managing the external data, because we rely on external data, especially for representatives. There are mistakes in this crowdsourced data which we are uh, receiving from some of the providers. So there are challenges with this data, wherein sometimes the phone numbers or addresses, etc., are malformed, which is preventing the software to function effectively. So that's one major area that we are working on. Now the past week, we have also improved on the overall DevOps process. We now got log aggregation with Grafana and Loki. Grafana's Loki tool, Grafana Labs Loki tool, and various marketing analytics support, namely Mixpanel, Hotjar, etc., are completed. Something that is missing right now is support for traces, and we are uh, evaluating how to proceed with that, and we are looking into various solutions available out there. So the long-term idea is to introduce open telemetry, which is supported by the Next.js stack. So that's some of the important work that's going on. And then I think on the infra, I had previously mentioned that we've been trying to mimic some of the functionalities from popular cloud providers. I think we're pretty close to verifying the same. The last item that seems to be pending is the backup and restoration process for the infra. Once that is also done, I think we're in a pretty good shape for the entire deployment. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much all from the development team. Thank you so much.
Robinson. Okay, we have marketing and content updates. That will include Together, Community, Website Statistics, and Graphic and Branding. That'll come from Vlad and Dave. Vlad, do you want to start us off, please?
Yes, thank you, Kelly. So we've launched a series of ads for Toto, some with search and gather's help, but mostly internally recently. And they're focused on voicing government concerns, but we've ran a lot of tests with these ads. We've optimized them over the past few weeks, and we're really looking for like the best bang for buck. And I think we're getting pretty close. Um, we're mostly focused right now on getting leads for pre-release mailing list, but also getting people signed up and slowly getting their feedback, seeing what's working, what's not, and then fine tuning accordingly. I believe over the next few weeks, we'll be communicating with the product team a little bit more on what we've found so far from what we've ran. On the Peerplay side, LinkedIn continues to grow. We're getting about 100, 150 new followers per week. We're reposting a lot of content that's known to perform well. YouTube has picked up. We got 25,000 views over the past 15 days. That's like 200, now closer to 250 watch hours, 20 subscribers over the past 15 days. Yeah, we can go to the next slide. On the community side, we've decided that the newsletter will combine 2 town halls at a time to provide more significant updates and have a little bit more meat and more content. We don't want to be bombarding people with too many update emails too often. So we're keeping a monthly cadence with the caveat that the newsletters will be a little bit more extensive and provide more significant content to the community. I know that that's been requested by the community as well. A lot of people have been active, particularly on Telegram and other places as well. Many asking about the role of PPY in the ecosystem in the near future. I know we have some questions around that coming in the end. And as usual, we continue to encourage the community to sign up to our newsletter if they haven't already. That is the best place to stay updated, second to the town halls, of course. And yeah, that is all for this week. Thank you.
Hi, guys. We are continuing to work on the website optimizations, and we do continue to see improvements in performance. We're also working on and researching for the Peerplays YouTube channel, exploring options, brainstorming, gathering a list of topics, etc. We have been collectively working on design enhancements and have performed website updates and improvements, both graphical and functional. We do continue to update the graphics throughout the website. We have spent some time on the Our Values section of the careers page, and as well as created a quick apply now section. We've made several tweaks throughout the website by changing out graphics to match the new branding guidelines. The Peerplays self-hosted job board is now live. This feature now allows Peerplays to list job opportunities on our website where new applicants can fill out the form to apply, and as well as submit a attached resume. These applications will go directly to Priyanka, our talent acquisition specialist. The branding guidelines for Peerplays is also currently under review and is ready to be published when approved. The guideline covers a wide range of branding identities, voice and tone, imagery and style, supporting visual elements, patterns, mock-ups, and many, many other things. And that's it for us.
Thank you, Vlad and Dave. Jonathan, collaboration update, please.
Good day, everybody. This is the collaboration updates for Peerplays this past couple of weeks. So within the standards category, there's a Government Blockchain Association working in decentralized ID as well as the gaming group. Wow, there's a lot of updates here. So we continue to work in the decentralized ID group and make contributions there, and that's going well. However, in the past 2 weeks, we finally started with the gaming group. And so this group is dedicated to providing the standard supplement, which will work into the blockchain maturity model that is used within the Government Blockchains Association. This blockchain maturity model is pretty significant because it's the model which is actually being pushed up and endorsed within a certain area of the United Nations to incorporate those elements as the standard for utilizing blockchain within United Nations, and I would suppose they would also look to that for guidance in how they're going to handle other blockchain matters as they put down new policies and regulations and whatnot. So the gaming group that we're working in, actually that we are leading, is dedicated to providing the gaming standards that will be a part of that blockchain maturity model as a supplement. So this can be really big. We just got started 2 weeks ago. We got a good little group started. We started to work on the focus of how far we would go with the gaming aspect because it really is a quite extensive area. So we've made some decent progress in that, and we are going to be continuing that. Right now, we are stopping it until after the G2E event, which I'll talk about shortly, and then everybody's going to reboot. Basically, everybody is not going to be able to meet for at least a few weeks. But it's going well. It started off great. We got a good group, and very excited to be a part of that and leading that. So that is the update where Peerplays is working on that collaboration. Within the gaming sector, there is the Gaming Benefits Corporation. Yeah, so that's the regulatory gaming dashboard, which we're working with GBC. We continue to work on that, and as mentioned previously, G2E is an event which they are going to be showcasing this regulatory gaming dashboard and Peerplays at this event. G2E is the largest gaming event annually, and it is certainly going to give a lot of coverage both to GBC for the regulatory dashboard and Peerplays because that's what it's based off. And also at G2E, there is going to be a showcasing of Toto. Some of the one of our devs actually is going to be on site at that event, and they're going to be there to provide technical support, basically to answer the technical questions when anyone has anything wants to dive more into the technical elements of how both the regulatory dashboard works as well as Toto. So those are some exciting developments that have happened and are continuing to happen. So looking forward to giving a report on that in the upcoming weeks after G2E. Yeah, that will be it. There is no other dedicated team updates. However, I can tell you that we are looking forward to possibly having an update on that in the near future. But I'll know more about that this week. And that's all for this week. Thank you.
Jonathan, there was one question that came in from the community. This question will be for Jonathan. How is Toto benefiting Peerplays and PPY holders? Will there be use of blockchain within it? Two-part question.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's a good question. We've actually we've talked on and off about this over the course of the several months that we've been working on this. But basically, the Toto dApp is designed to utilize Peerplay's smart contract layer. That's what you've heard Bobinson refer to as Peerplays 2, which, of course, at its core, uses PPY. Various elements we've pioneered working on Peerplays, including decentralized RNG, data storage, decentralized ID, consensus, and of course, gamification are all part of what have been incorporated into what's looking to increasingly look like a very high demand dApp, as you heard from Vlad. So the one new thing we have learned in its development is how we can utilize AI with blockchain, which clearly is going to be very useful in the future. The humanomics surrounding how Toto will work does require PPY. So there will be a supply demand of PPY as a result that will scale with each new person that uses the dApp. In terms of how that works exactly, more details on how that works will be released in the future as it comes closer to that stage of development. So you'll just have to wait for that. But stay tuned because we will be sharing that. All that said, the benefits of Toto brings to Peerplays has more to do with providing tools which helps people to engage with the current systems of governance, building communities, support around this, taking away the pain points involved, is going to help us with gaining new insights into real world issues, and working together with them provides opportunities to introduce additional blockchain elements to ensure, obviously, censorship resistance as well as accountability. So this can expand into many different areas that would be natural extensions for Toto, such as messaging, trade and swap, and of course, the crown jewel, autonomous organization. So those are just some of the aspects in terms of what the benefits are to Peerplays and for PPY. And in terms of where it utilizes blockchain, that is going to expand. Like I said, for now, it's used primarily for an ID and a storage medium. But other elements, as I said, as it grows, will certainly expand on that. The hope I have is that one day we could see other smart contracts possibly hooking into Toto and providing additional services for all the people that are using it. They're interested in wanting to organize and be able to engage in issues and things that matter in their community. So it's quite exciting, and yeah, hope that helps.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Okay, that concludes our weekly town hall meeting, August 3rd, 2023. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.